Can we confirm that flying is really and truly one of the safest ways of traveling? Do you really think we've been to the moon?
Those little airplanes, when they crashed, quite often it's survivable. After 9/11, there's just been like one or two other accidents, and that's basically been it.
I think the most dangerous part of any sort of flight is the takeoff and the landing at this point.
It is.
What's more dangerous though, takeoff or landing?
The reason why you see it as a curve on a map is because the map is wrong. It's not a curve. That route is completely straight. It's just the map is wrong.
So wait, hold on. You just threw a wrench into whatever my brain was going through. We're talking about of the Earth not being flat, being a sphere, being curved, correct?
Because most people, I don't think, understand what it takes to be a business owner.
Is it true that a pilot's or a flight map is based off of a flat Earth concept? Really think that was on the moon, or do you think that was in Hollywood City? Be honest, Edwin. Happy Monday, everybody.
Thank goodness it's Friday. No, Monday.
It's Monday.
It's Friday?
It's Monday.
I guess I want the week to be over already.
You know, it's crazy, man. As soon as the holidays come around, you don't know what's Monday, what's Friday, what's Saturday. You have a Christmas party one day. You have a holiday party on another one. You have a Hanukkah party on a different day. And all of a sudden, oh my God, it's New Year's.
My favorite is right when November starts, everybody you talk to. Yeah, after the holidays. Dude, there's like 2 months till the holidays. We can still do business. We can still have a meeting. We're not going to sit around, twiddle our thumbs.
Oh, in our industry, it's right after Halloween.
You're done.
After Halloween, everybody goes, it's like Halloween's, it's November 1st. Oh, you know what? Maybe after the holiday. It's like you realize like Thanksgiving's the last Thursday of November, right? Not the first Thursday of November. But hey, man, what can you do? It's we live in America. Everything is so fast paced where you don't know what day it is by the time it's the end of the year. But anyways, WiseNutsPodcast.com, guys. Check out our merch. Our Epstein Didn't Kill Himself is available as well. Surprisingly enough, I mean, yesterday was December 20th. We were supposed to see some documents to President Trump, but
and we were either supposed to see documents or go into Venezuela. Is that
yeah. Venezuela needs freedom.
So what happened with that, buddy?
We're gonna go give Venezuela freedom.
Well, yesterday I was
show them a little democracy.
I was taught. Was it yesterday or
liberty and democracy?
Saturday night? We're at a friend's Christmas party.
Bro.
One of the guys who's so into this stuff is. I'm like, so what happened? I thought we're supposed to go attack Venezuela. He's like, attack what? Like, what is there?
Oil.
I'm like, yeah, we could send 4 Marines and that's it. What is there to attack?
But we have a special guest with us. We want to have Edwin Sahakian kind of chime in on this as well. What are your thoughts about Venezuela, Ed?
He's like, gee, I didn't sign up for this.
Ed's gonna be flying us to Venezuela tomorrow, guys. But all jokes aside, thanks, Ed, for taking time out of your Monday to be with us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
You're a pilot. And well, we were having this argument off air, pilot, flight instructor. We're like, so what are you? Are you a pilot or a flight instructor? You're like, in order to be a flight instructor, I have to be a pilot.
It's like, I teach you how to drive, but I don't know how to drive myself.
I work at the DMV and I teach people how to drive, but I don't have a driver's license. But one thing we want to kind of dive into as far as the conversation with flying and all that, can we confirm that flying is really and truly one of the safest ways of traveling?
It truly is. It truly is. Of course, it depends what kind of flying. I mean,
yeah.
What do
you mean? What kind of flying? we were here last week not last week, about a month ago with David Allenarl talking about helicopters. Is it the helicopters that you're going to be talking about, or?
Well, helicopters are probably less safe than maybe like an airliner. Helicopters are trying to blow themselves apart. Kind of. That's one way of thinking.
In what sense? As in the mechanism of the flight, or?
Yeah, it's just so you got this massive rotor that is spinning and it's trying to kind of tear itself apart. You got a massive gearbox, a lot of moving parts. Well,
hopefully nobody's listening to this in line waiting for a Vegas tour.
Yeah, it's like My wife and I were supposed to fly to Catalina in the morning, but I think we're just gonna take the jet skis there.
Yeah, but no, absolutely. So airliners are crazy safe, right? So, domestically we fly 600 million people a year, just domestic. So that's flying every man, woman, and child in the U.S. twice. And when's the last time that we had a fatality in an airline environment? After 9/11, there's just been like one or two other accidents, and that's basically been it. So it's crazy safe. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we recently had that accident in India. That was one airliner that fell.
Yeah.
What was the other one that kind of flipped over? Where did it land? I forgot.
Malaysia
where
Airlines, maybe, or
No, Malaysia was years ago. The one that went missing, or which one?
yeah, the
370?
one that supposedly went missing.
That one doesn't count. It went missing.
No, there was a small plane crash 4 days ago.
Oh, the guy that stole
The NASCAR driver with his family,
Yeah.
who unfortunately they all died in the crash. But
Yeah, the small ones crash a lot actually, but as far as airliners go, they're super safe. But yeah, the smaller airplanes are not as safe as the airlines, but still they're very safe. Yeah.
But what do you fly normally?
I fly typically business jets, but I also have flown airliners, but not for an airline. The airliner that I've flown is actually owned by a personal by an individual.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's privately owned.
But I see. To me, a couple of times I've flown a small plane years ago, like a Cessna in a series, because I was considering getting a pilot's license,
Sure.
and it felt safe in the sense where if something happens, you were able to land in a lot of places, right? On the freeway, I mean, some even major like boulevards, right? Streets. Whereas a airliner, where do you land that plane? And from what I recall, when I think we were about 10,000 elevation, and I asked him, the trainer, I said, what happens if the engine goes out? He goes, well, let's turn it off. So he turns it off, and we started gliding. And he said, if I remember correctly, he said, we're going to glide about 500 feet a minute, which means if we're at 10,000 feet, right, that's about 20 minutes to find the land. I mean, a little bit less, but to find landing space, right?
That's correct.
Whereas with an airliner, what are the safety, I guess, concerns and differences between an airliner and a smaller, single or double engine plane?
So you're absolutely correct. So on an airliner, you're not really going to find, it's not like you can go find a golf course and land an Airbus there. So that's not going to happen. You could definitely do that with a single engine Cessna or a Piper or something. But the thing is that with the smaller airplanes, you just have less redundancy. So a single failure, may become an emergency. Whereas with a bigger airplane, with an airliner, you've got multiple redundancies. So you've got triple redundancy, sometimes more.
Redundancy meaning like, plan A, B, C, D. There's a backup behind the backup if something fails and then another one fails. That's what you mean?
Correct. Yeah. For instance, if you can't lower your landing gear, for instance, through the primary mechanism, then you'll have a secondary, a tertiary ways of extending the landing gear, bringing it down, for instance. As far as engines go, for instance, with the jets especially, the engines are super reliable, and also you have multiple engines, right? Whereas maybe a little Cessna, you've got one engine and it's piston, which is not nearly as reliable as a turbine engine. But the good thing about, like you said, about the small airplane is that you can land it anywhere just about. Because it's going so slow that it doesn't carry a lot of energy. So those little airplanes, when they crashed, I mean, quite often it's survivable because as your speed goes up, not to get too technical, but as your speed goes up, the energy that you carry goes up by the square of your speed. So if you double your speed, the energy you carry becomes 4 times. If you go 3 times as fast, it goes up 9 times and so forth. So with the faster airplanes, you're carrying a lot of energy. So, should, God forbid, something happen. So when you see an airliner, it's very, very rare for something to happen. But when it happens, it's unfortunately.
But even those airliners would glide, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more than 500 feet a minute, but right, because of the weight and size.
Yeah. Absolutely. So the airplane flies not because it's got engines, because it flies because it's got wings, right? So
lift.
Yeah, and then the wings generate lift, and they can glide actually for long ways. And they've had actually, like, there's an Air Canada that there was a error between metric and imperial. They thought that they were loading kilograms of fuel, where in fact they were loading pounds of fuel. So there's a big difference, pounds, about half what a kilogram is, and they actually ran out of fuel. And they actually managed to glide the airplane down, and everybody survived, and the airplane was perfectly fine. They found an old abandoned runway that actually they had a Sunday bazaar. They got everybody out, and the airplane came and landed, and they were perfectly fine. So it does happen where airliners can actually find places to land as well. But like I said, the important thing to remember is that the airplanes fly not because they have engines, but because they have wings.
Yeah. I think the most dangerous part of any sort of flight is the takeoff and the landing at this point.
It is. That's
other than that, when you're in the air.
What's more dangerous though, takeoff or landing?
Takeoffs are typically more accident prone than landing.
Really?
Yeah, don't tell my wife that.
my favorite part when I was flying was landing. It was my favorite part at Venice.
I would have figured landing is more, riskier than taking off.
As far as flying goes, it's definitely more challenging to land than it is to take off. I mean, for takeoff, you just roll down the runway, and the airplane is designed to fly. So it basically just flies on its own. Just make sure you don't get off the runway.
Yeah. So if you see the pilot in the bathroom, don't be alarmed. Everything is fine. Oh, geez. We noticed a lot of these flight patterns that take place. Now, this is something that we would love to have this conversation with you. Is it true that a pilot's or a flight map, or a pilot's map is based off of a flat Earth concept?
No, actually, it depends on the type of navigation you have. We actually have one way of navigating, which is called inertial navigation. So you've got GPS that you can navigate. You've got ground antennas that we can navigate. But one way that we navigate is inertial, and that's basically because the way it works is that it works because Earth is a sphere.
I know.
Is it though?
What's that?
Is it? Because we've asked that to many pilots over the years, and they just smile like as if they're hiding something. See, you're even smiling like maybe.
I don't know.
That is the Earth flat.
The Earth is definitely not flat. So I can vouch for that, because the airplane I fly actually flies really, really high, and you're more than welcome to come on time, and we'll get up to 51,000 feet, and that's where you'll actually start seeing Earth's curvature.
So you'll actually see the Earth begin to curve, and the actual curvature shows fully.
51,000 feet?
51,000.
You can go up that high, huh?
Yeah.
In an airliner.
Not in an airliner. Airliners typically fly in mid-30s, but smaller, lighter jets can actually fly.
I feel like
higher.
Ed's going to take us to 51,000 feet, show us the Earth being flat, and then push a button and eject us out of the ship. Now go tell the rest of the WiseNuts it's flat.
So what would you? How would you go up that high? And what type of aircraft?
It's got to be a high performance airplane, but there are airplanes that are very high performance and they can get up there.
Because typically, I think from what I've read, private jets fly at a higher altitude than commercial. No,
Correct.
Because I guess it's more fuel efficient, or is that what it is? Or
Yeah. So, well, there are a lot of considerations, right? So, the higher you fly, the thinner the air is, so it's easier to cut through it, right? And actually, air gets thin pretty fast. Like at 18,000 feet, which is not that high, you're already talking about air being only 50% as thick as it is here on the surface. So basically you want to go high, so it's easier to cut through it. So you need less power and less energy and less fuel, which is less money. But eventually air gets really thin. And there are other considerations, like there's not enough oxygen to burn fuel, so your engines start generating less thrust. Since air is thinner, your wings don't generate as much lift, and so on and so forth. So basically, there's a sweet spot. And for big, super like Emirates A380 type airplanes, it's just not efficient for them to go that high.
The A380s are the double deckers, right?
A380s are double deckers, yeah.
But why is it that, like I mentioned, going back to the emergency landing as far as like the flight patterns are concerned, why is it that the emergency landings, there's so many people that have maps of a flat Earth and it shows like the directions of where the emergency landings are supposed to be? Or, for example, if you ever want to fly to, what was it? I think it was from Hawaii to Argentina, you would have to fly into LA, then into Houston, and then down to Argentina. But when you look at it on a map, it's so much easier to fly from Hawaii to Argentina.
Yeah. So the map that you're looking at is wrong, right? So because Earth is a sphere. So like if you look at a map, like going east to west, like going from LA to London looks really, really far. Whereas going from LA to, let's say, Brazil doesn't look as far. But it is as far. The reason is that the map is wrong. So because you take a sphere and you flatten it out, so it's like short but wide. But I guarantee you, if you go from North Pole to South Pole, it's exactly the same distance as if you were to fly halfway across the world, east to west on the equator. Guarantee you it's the same.
And is it because also they've tried to, like the maps we have, or let's say when you buy a globe, it's made to look aesthetically pleasing as well, where the continents are not as symmetrical as it is in, when you buy a map, versus if you were to go up above the atmosphere or however far you got to go up to see everything, that it's not as symmetrical as how we've always seen pictures of it.
Well, so if you look at if you look at a map like if you look at Greenland looks really massive on a map, on a flat map. Looks almost as big as Australia. I can assure you Greenland is nowhere near as big as Australia, but because the map is wrong, and the farther north or farther south you go, the more wrong it is. It looks that way. But we have to, when we're going long distances, obviously we have to make corrections to our route based on a flat map. That's why for instance, when you look at, the question that you get asked is like, when we're going from, let's say, from LA to London, why do we go almost straight north to Canada over Greenland? So if you look at the map, we're going like this.
Yeah. Anytime you go to Europe, that's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
You'll fly up towards Greenland, basically up to where the North Pole is.
Yeah.
And then you'll fly towards Europe, and then you'll descend down. Obviously, both ways. You're descending down towards land, and you're descending down towards Europe. It's a shorter distance? Is that the reason why, or is it because of, God forbid, if there's an emergency, you're closer to land than you were if you were to fly across the Atlantic directly?
Yeah. So no, it's because airlines are super cost aware, right? So
that's a nice way of saying cheap, basically, right?
Correct. So basically, the reason why you see it as a curve on a map is because the map is wrong. It's not a curve. That route is completely straight. It's just the map is wrong.
So wait, hold on. You just threw a wrench into whatever my brain was going through. We're talking about of the Earth not being flat, being a sphere, being curved, correct? But what we're having a conversation is, it's the reason why it's flying in that direction is it's a shorter distance and land masses are closer to each other. But you're saying it's not; it's the same. So it's flat.
So if you take a sphere, like if you go by a globe and take a string and stretch it from LA to London, and you will see the path it makes. And if you draw it on that, I don't know how you could do this, but if you if you note the points that it goes through and jot those points on a flat map, you'll see that it becomes a curve. But in reality, it's not a curve. It's a straight line. It's just represented wrong on a map.
Is it because if you explain it the opposite way, for instance, if you take a sphere, right, and you draw a line from LA to London, a straight line, once that line is drawn, then if we open the sphere into flat, it's going to have a curve, or however, this way or that way. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I explained it the other way around. So you take a sphere, you take a string, and draw it from, the 2 points. And if you just jot where they're going through, like it's going through northern Canada, and the points that it's going through, and plot that on a flat map, you'll see that it becomes a curve. But in fact, it's not a curve. I guarantee you that, like, British Airways would not take a long route to go from LA to London. They would take the absolute shortest route possible.
But that's what we're going with. The shorter route is from that Greenland area, correct?
It is, yeah.
Because the closer you are to the north, I mean, the shorter the distance is. Isn't that what it is? Because obviously it kind of, I mean, it's a sphere at the end of the day. There's less space on the top than there is by the equator.
Well, I mean, so basically there's the line that you draw is called a great circle, or it's like the string that you pull is part of a great circle. And a great circle distance is the shortest distance. And that's how, our navigation system works.
So then, see, yours is not flat.
Maybe I didn't explain it well.
Bro, flat earthers are going crazy right now.
But it's crazy that, like 20% of the population either, maybe they're not 100% convinced that it's flat, but about 20% of the population kind of believes that
it's a possibility.
It's a possibility. Mm-hmm. It's one possible outcome. But
I don't believe it until I see it with my own eyes.
You got to take this guy up to 51,000 feet.
We'll go up there and you can see it with your own eyes.
Son of a...
What the hell was that, bro?
You okay?
Yeah, man. Oh, Megeredchian Law. We should call Alex.
If you've been injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or work injury, reach out to Megeredchian Law today.
At Megeredchian Law, we maximize your compensation, you get constant client communication, and we win when it matters most. When you're involved in an accident, choosing the right attorney is the most important decision you can make. Let us show you why we're different at Megeredchian Law. With 11 attorneys on our team, we're able to go to trial and fight for your case. More important, the pedigree of our firm is customer service, so you always get a call, you always get an update. Lastly, we're results driven. We win. Let us show you how. Call us at 818-530-1300 or bestcaraccidentattorney.com.
If you've been injured in a car accident, trip and fall, nerve, muscle, joint, any sort of pain at all, hit up Dr. Rafi. He'll take care of everything from A to Z. What's the number at?
818-407-0007.
And tell him the WiseNuts sent you.
How did you decide to become a pilot? What was it? At what age were you like? Because I've always been fascinated by airplanes. Till today, if I ever have the time, I'll drive to either Burbank or Van Nuys Airport. Just, there's a couple of areas you can park and just watch planes take off and land. I'm still fascinated by it, how such a heavy, vessel is able to just take off like it's nothing and land and carry so many people and whatnot.
It's crazy. It is difficult to believe. Yeah, so I was fascinated by it. I've always wanted to not only be a pilot, but hopefully be an astronaut one day. Because it is. I mean, these machines are equivalents of. They're like modern day pyramids. That's what they are. They're marvels of science. It's amazing. But yeah, but air is amazing because air is. I mean, you don't really feel that air has weight and wind has strength, but drive fast on the freeway and stick your arm out. You'll notice. I mean, there's a lot of force on your hand. I mean, it'll push it back. And if you're going 300, 400, 500 miles an hour, there's a lot of force. And yeah, and hard to believe, but they'll lift a 1,000,000-pound airplane off the ground, which is crazy.
Do Armenian pilots stick their arm out in the airplane too?
Like this, but
not out the window.
That's why those planes don't have windows.
The cigarette.
Oh god. Yeah, it's incredible how fast and how quickly engineering has taken off in the past probably 20 years. Because 20 years ago, if you were to go back in time and say, hey, listen, they're going to build an airplane. It's a double decker. There's 2 levels on it. Upstairs there's going to be.
What are you talking about? I've been in double decker 35 years ago.
No, are you serious?
Aeroflot had double deckers.
Are you kidding me? Yeah. I thought it was like 20, 30 years ago. 20 years ago that those things.
No, they've been around for a while.
So a picture.
Look when Concorde came out.
I mean, look at it this way, bro. I mean, when you look at it, like COVID was like 6 years ago or 5 years ago, and you blink, you're like, oh my god.
No, I think that's the one area I think aviation has not advanced that much.
No, man, are you kidding me? Look at the lounges inside these areas, bro.
No, forget about. Don't let the aesthetics of leather couches and. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
and Vosgen's 5-course meals.
I'm talking about technology-wise. I think between the decades of maybe 1950s to 80s, 90s, aviation has advanced more in those few. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Within those 3-4 decades, than 20, 30 years. That's 20, 30 years. You just have better looking airplanes, and you've got gold plated whatever. Faucets and
I was leaning more towards the double deckers as far as being able to smaller seats for sure, Joe. I mean, you got to cram as many people as you can inside those planes, but being able to transport more and more people inside of that vessel. And again,
Concorde came out in 1976.
okay, when did the double deckers come out? That's what I'm curious about.
And they retired in 2003, 22 years. And remember what the Concorde was, right? I mean, around 1,300 miles per hour.
Levick was saying 20 years ago, we got the F-22 Raptor.
The Ford Raptor? Or?
I have no idea.
Well,
I think-
The Concorde was known for going the highest altitude. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was going the highest. It was known for going the highest altitude, and then it would literally cover way more distance. It would create a sonic boom. Is that right?
Yes, the Concorde flew at over twice the speed of sound.
Twice the speed of sound.
Twice the speed of sound. And actually, Concorde would fly faster than Earth's rotation, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, assuming that Earth is round.
See, we're almost convinced here.
Well, here you go. Airbus A380 double decker came out in 2007. So
Yes, but prior to that, in 1953, the first French airline had the double decker. Well, in 1992, I've sat in a double decker when I went back to Armenia.
that's crazy, bro. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Aeroflot.
I think some for
And
some
they were smoking in the airplane. I swear, they had a smoking section with just like a little curtain, as if that was supposed. And I was 12 years old. I'm trying to walk to the toilet. When you stand up, it's just all smoke.
Did they stop the smoking after 9/11?
No, it was.
Was it prior to 9/11?
Quite a bit before 9/11.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
Like, for us, for me at least, if I were to ever see anybody light up a cigarette inside of a plane, I'd freak out. You'd be like, "What? This is not normal."
Well, it still says no smoking. I mean, right? No smoking in
Well, at least they got rid of the ashtrays.
Yeah, like as if somebody's gonna be like, you know what? I just had some pretzels. I need to smoke this one out.
These peanuts were really salty. I gotta light one up really quickly.
Digest it.
Yeah. Or again, Vosgen 7-course meal. You know, you got to make sure you.
Well, Vosgen flies like VIP class, not like us. We fly cargo class.
Well, what is your favorite airline to fly with internationally?
International. Oh, Emirates is really, really nice. It depends where you want to go, right? So, I mean, Emirates is awesome. I love Emirates. That's probably one of the most luxurious airlines.
Safety wise?
Safety. Look, safety. I mean, if it's in any European and any US carrier is super, super safe.
Except Spirit.
No, my Spirit's very safe too.
Absolutely. That's why they're half the price.
We could talk about that. We'll let him finish what he's saying. We can get into Spirit.
But yeah, who else? Air France is not bad.
Singapore, no? I think
Singapore is another really good one. But of course, that if you're going to Asia,
Yeah.
So. But I like Delta. Delta is, I mean, as far as domestic goes, Delta is the absolute best. And I've done a lot of training at Delta. Delta's got a fantastic training center, and great. I mean, they maintain their aircraft really, really well. So it's.
I mean, have you noticed any changes as far as the quality of pilots that are being hired by these airliners ever since this new DEI movement? Or is that just a lot of rumor?
Eye movement. What?
DEI, which is the the diversity equity, where they're trying to hire people just, like, okay, you're Armenian, Hispanic, whatever,
Right.
you're gay, you're lesbian, or, you're not the majority. Come on, you're hired as a pilot versus.
You have a driver's license? Come on in.
Versus before, anytime you knocked on the cockpit, it was an old white guy with a mustache, right?
Yeah.
Hello, Captain. now it could be blue-haired, earrings and nose ring. Is that true, or are the standards still relatively high?
No, I mean, you're certified by the FAA. FAA doesn't really care what color you are, green, blue, black, white. I don't think it makes a difference. There was a big, there was an accident, I don't know, about 15, 20 years ago. that's what really changed their requirements. Before, you could fly a commercial airplane with not that many hours. I think the requirement back then was like 200 hours minimum, but now it's minimum. The minimum requirement is 1,500 hours, so it's a lot more. And that's really what's going to determine how safe you are. And also, training has gotten so much better. And yeah.
I mean, you yourself are certified to fly how many planes, and how often do you have to train to maintain those certifications?
I'm certified to fly 10. It's actually 10 jets that I'm certified on. I can only currently fly 2 of them, actually 3 of them. That's it.
Because you haven't maintained the other
Because
7.
I haven't maintained the what we call a currency. So I'm not current on the other 7.
Like continuing education, basically.
Yeah, yeah. So you have to go and get retrained and stuff. So and I could do that, but it's just expensive. So
and if you're not going to fly it, why?
And you're not going to fly it, well, you know.
So what are the 3 that you're currently up to date on?
So I'm current on 2 different kinds of business jets. They're called Citations, and I'm current on Boeing 757.
Also, the one of the bigger ones.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah.
Like, for instance, you're not allowed to fly, let's say, Gulfstream at G6, G whatever. You're not certified, even though you can fly the, what's the one you said, sir?
Citation.
Citation.
Correct. Yeah, you have to be. So with turbine airplanes, you have to get certified in that specific make and model. Specific make and model, not make, but model.
I mean, how many makes and models are there?
Hundreds.
And you have to be certified on in each. Whichever one you want to fly, you have to be certified.
Yeah.
It's a long certification process, or like a 1-week program. I mean, what is?
If you're already a pilot and you're flying jets, it's probably to get recertified. I mean, to get certified on a new type, probably takes 6 weeks. And of course, that's if you pass all your exams and tests and everything. But they don't. I mean, if you have a pilot on that works for Southwest Airlines, he flies a 737, and that's all he flies.
Yeah,
he'll fly a 737, Boeing 737, his entire career almost. So it's a big deal to go from one aircraft type to another.
Imagine if we had that qualification in driving cars. You're like,
bro, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was like,
I'm driving a BMW 5 Series. Well, fantastic. 6 weeks of training. But I want to upgrade it to I don't know, maybe a Toyota Camry
upgrade it to a Toyota. What the hell?
Hey, look, these days Toyota Camrys are pretty luxurious.
You're living in the twilight zone, brother.
And all right, buddy, 6 weeks of certification before we give you that lease on the brand new Camry. Huh?
You know what? I guarantee you there would be less and less accidents.
And less people buying new cars.
And you know what? Insurance would be cheaper as well. Hey, I think we just solved California's problem.
Yeah, contact us for more ideas.
Seriously, though, could you imagine, like, whatever car, the make and model that you're going to be picking up, you have to basically get certified to drive that vehicle? Well, I mean, that's kind of what insurance is. What kind of car are you driving? How many miles are you driving it? How safe is it? How reliable? Well,
what's your zip code?
What's your zip code? Yeah, exactly.
How many fraudulent accidents in your zip code this year?
Well, if it's a Glendale zip code, then
anything within a 2-mile radius of Glendale. It doesn't even necessarily have to be Glendale. Trust me, those guys are smarter than they look.
Over the years, have you had anything like terrifying happen to you while flying an airplane?
I really haven't. I've never had an emergency. When I was instructing.
Hold on, knock on wood.
Hold on. There we go. Go ahead.
So when I was instructing, primary students, guys that are just starting, that's their very first like private pilot, whatever. Yeah, those guys were trying to kill me all the time. Yeah.
In what sense? Like just
shutting off the engine halfway through?
Yeah, or it's like, doing, just getting too slow, close to a stall or coming at the wrong angle to land, taking off at the wrong angle,
Putting in half the fuel.
Yeah, just a lot of that was
just to mess with you, basically.
well. I mean, they weren't intentionally doing it. They just don't know. They're just learning, right? So I mean,
These were
trainees. These were trainees. Yeah.
Oh no. We're talking more about for you, like any.
As far as me, I mean, you know, I've had some situations in weather and so forth, but it's never been an emergency. Honestly, I've never had an emergency. I've never declared Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. I've never done that. Not once in my career.
Because there is a good percentage. I mean, maybe 10, 20% of the population out there who are still afraid of flying because the turbulence scares them. The fear of not being in control, right? You're not at the wheel. Just being 30, 35,000 feet up, free falling, or whatever the situation is, thunderstorms and all these things that can go wrong.
I think it's more turbulence over anything else.
Well, turbulence is what you feel most of the time, experience, but most people don't know. They think the plane is about to fall off, fall off the air. But when you look at the wings, and somehow I always end up sitting right next to the wing, I mean, that thing could handle like a bounce, It's so, even just the cabinetry, everything is so flexible. Nothing is bolted. Everything seems to be loose where there's room to, move.
Yes. It has to shake. If it doesn't shake, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's designed to handle turbulence. It's designed to handle all that.
Like the Airbus we were in when we were flying to Germany, I mean, it's a massive plane, double-decker. You have
guys infatuated.
You have I know, bro. I love those double deckers.
It's not a cheeseburger.
Two cheeses, onions, grilled on mustard. But you have two engines on each side, and that wing is massive. Because like when you sit in, like for example, a Southwest Airlines plane, where obviously it's a smaller aircraft, and you feel the turbulence, like when you're going through wind. But on those, I'm looking at the wing outside. It's shaking like crazy.
With the two engines hanging. It's like just
but in the cabinet itself, it was very, very comfortable.
Yeah.
Like very minimal turbulence. Is that by design as far as like the larger plane is able to withstand the turbulence?
Yeah, so you have more inertia. So it's just more it's more difficult to move it around to, I mean, turbulence has less effect on it because, I mean,
it's a bigger mass.
It was that a Lufthansa you were on? That was an Airbus A380. Yeah, so that I think the Airbus A380 weighs 1,200,000 pounds, which is insane.
Off the ground.
It's
wow.
737 weighs 150,000 pounds, 130,000 pounds. So
it's about 10x. Huh?
Yeah, so it's about 10x.
Because look, it was my first time on one of those.
I've never been on the A380.
So when it was getting ready to take off, it took a while for it to take off.
Oh yeah,
because it needs. Look, we
5 miles.
Yeah, it's just going and going and going. And I'm like, all right, any minute now. Any minute now.
We're in Arizona.
Yeah,
already.
I'm like, any minute now. And then when it got up, like you felt the energy. You felt the power of that plane push off the ground.
That's crazy. Yeah.
It was just another level of energy. And look, we've flown everywhere, including obviously with you guys.
Well, those planes, I've never been in an A380, but there's a big difference between, like you said, the Southwest or just flying to Europe with, I don't know, those are what, 747s or
747s,
yeah.
777s. Or 777s are very popular now, yeah.
Technology should move your business forward, not hold it back. At Titan Elite IT Services and Consulting, we make sure it does. Our clients don't wait days for help. They get real-time answers, fast resolutions, and dedicated support, both on-site and remote. From Los Angeles to Orange and Ventura counties, our coverage is local, statewide, and nationwide. When you need us, we're already on the way. We're not just an MSP. We build with you. From cloud migration to security to every endpoint in your network.
At Titan Elite, we don't just solve problems. We prevent them from happening. We become a part of your team and we grow with you.
Titan Elite IT services and consulting. Strategic, scalable, trusted, and always on.
Are you looking for a place to kick back and celebrate? Well, the Glenarden Club has got you covered. Upstairs, you got a private lounge with a cigar room. Downstairs, you got the Moose Den, where you can have cocktails and private events. Hey, are you even hungry? They got an outside pizzeria serving one of the best pizzas in town. If you're interested in becoming a member with the Glenarden Club or booking an event, contact the WiseNuts. We'll connect you to the boys at the Glenarden, and you can become a member here or host your next gathering.
Can you explain to us as far as how turbulence works to debunk the theory or the fear of, turbulence means the plane is going to fall off the sky? It's because, it just can't handle, because sometimes, you'll get jerked down a little bit, maybe,
Sure.
I don't know how many feet that is, 30 feet or 50 feet, whatever that amount is, but you'll feel it. You'll feel the rush sometimes, but it's still, if you understand how turbulence works, there's really nothing to fear, but a lot of people are afraid of that.
Yeah, turbulence scares. As a pilot, it's not turbulence that. I don't like turbulence because it bothers my passengers, and typically, if it's really smooth, I get credit for it. Oh, you're such a great pilot. You're the best. And it's like, well,
You can thank God for no clouds that day.
But turbulence doesn't really. It's not really scary for a pilot. What concerns me a lot more is if I were to land when the clouds are really low. I mean, imagine you're doing 200 miles an hour, and I can't see where I'm going. I'm completely reliant on my instruments, and so that's an attention getter.
Or even windy landings.
Yeah, windy landings. If the wind is from the side, if you have a crosswind, that's challenging. That's for sure. Yeah, because then you can't come in straight. Then you have to actually come in sideways. We call that crabbing. Like a crab, you go sideways.
You land sideways, huh?
Well, you can't land sideways, but you can't really go straight, right?
You're drifting on the runway.
Hey, my teacher told me there's no such thing as a stupid question, okay?
Yeah, Edwin's playing the Tokyo drift music as he's landing. But look, Levik has a question. He's saying the Cessnas, as far as landing on Catalina Island, with such a short runway, how difficult of a landing is that?
Catalina Island has got a weird runway. It's a short runway, and it's got a hump. So when you're coming into land, when you get really close to the ground, it feels like the runway is going to end at half the distance, which it actually will end. And there's a 2,000-foot cliff on the other side. So that's attention grabbing. So it's disconcerting for sure. Yeah.
Sorry, no, continue. I apologize.
So that's kind of the thing about the landing in Catalina. And it is a short runway, yeah. So you're not going to go there in a big airplane or anything. So
there's actually, I remember on YouTube years ago watching, and I don't know if it was just a documentary or whatever it was, but just showing the shortest runways around the world. How some of them, I mean, you literally had like 10 feet of kind of margin of error, and then you're going over the cliff. And only specific pilots were able to land in some of those landing strips. Those are,
and then Burbank is one of them, by the way. Burbank has one of the shortest runways. That is the second shortest runway that Southwest Airlines lands on. It's only 5,800 feet long. And if you remember years ago, it actually there was a runway overrun. So the aircraft actually departed the runway, ended up on Hollywood Way, went through the fence and so forth. So it's a very short
landing runway. Or taking off?
Landing.
Yeah.
I would hope not take off on Hollywood Way.
Yeah, it almost hit the gas station.
I don't think he took off.
It almost hit the gas station, actually.
Yeah, that's precisely right.
Yeah, we were taking off and we hit Hollywood Way.
But if those fighter jets are able to land on a Navy ship, I mean, it's got a few hundred feet, if that.
Yeah,
with-
but
with
they
those
have that
brakes.
giant cord that kind of pulls them in as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So why can't we put those cords and just? Have you ever been in a fighter jet?
I have not been in a fighter. I've been in an aerobatic airplane. I've trained on aerobatic airplanes.
Are
That's
those the
the
ones
one.
the that you go to like those airline shows or those air shows?
Yeah.
Like
So
the blue ones. What are they called?
The Blue Angels. Yeah.
yeah.
So no, I've done formation flying training because, So I've flown missions where we've have had to form with other aircraft for filming.
How do you do that? I mean, look, we all drive. Sometimes you'll be on the 134 on Glenoaks and there's 3 or 4 lanes and these people can't stay in the lane. How do these airplanes at that speed, there's no lanes, you have no walls, nothing to like keep your, what is that called? Like your center of focus or whatever it's called. You just, there's air and then clouds and mountains and you're supposed to keep that 12 feet distance and do maneuvers. How do you guys keep? So
you definitely have to get formation flying training. So obviously they in the military that's all they do. They're always flying in formations. If you're a fighter, for the fighters, that is anyway. But you train for it. And they get pretty close. You get within 5 feet of each other, which is really weird. So the
5 feet is like,
it's nothing.
like you and I.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel safe driving
Yeah.
next to most people at 5 feet distance.
Yeah. but fighter pilots do that all day long.
I think it takes a different caliber of skill to be able to fly those planes. Those fighter pilots and those pilots that do those air shows. I mean, that's another level.
Yeah. No, they're good pilots for sure, but it's not as hard as these people are human beings. I mean, they're not. they're not. Yeah.
Edwin, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How many hours would you say you fly a month? There's a question on top of that as well. So a follow up.
Right now, maybe 40 hours a week. 40 hours a month.
Okay. So from those 40 hours a month, I'm sure we see it in the air all the time. Would you have any idea what they're spraying on us right now?
What they're spraying on us?
Do you see the lines that are out there? Besides, not the contrails. The contrails are very short, right? The water vapor burns out. But what, like for example, today, if you were to look up in the sky, it was a clear day originally, and then all of a sudden you see those lines, and those lines expand, and they become the clouds that you're seeing now. Have you noticed that or?
Not really. I mean,
you haven't?
No, I mean, you see contrails, like I said, and contrails can actually expand quite a bit. And then, like I said, contrail stands for condensation trail. Right. So it's water. What people don't realize is, and you see it coming out of the exhaust of your car, water comes out. That's a byproduct of combustion. So for every gallon of fuel that you burn, you'll basically produce about a gallon of water.
Because what I'm talking about right now is not specific contrails. They've actually admitted to this already. Before they were denying it entirely. But now they're actually admitting to it that they are releasing, I guess, something, geoengineering. Now it's not, the word, what they call it? Chemtrails is considered, but it's considered conspiracy. But once you turn around and say geoengineering, all of a sudden it's, normal. So like, for example, today, I mean, we all look up. Did you guys not see that today or
I haven't had a chance to look up today
or yesterday?
I've noticed last few days, and ironically, we were talking about this Saturday night. Like, I think what was it, Thursday, Friday, and maybe even Saturday, we had heavy fog in Burbank.
Oh, same here in Glendale.
And I mean, you couldn't see like 10 feet ahead of you.
Yeah.
And some of the guys were like, and it had a weird chemical odor to it, and some of them were claiming, well, something was sprayed prior to that, and then there was all this mist and fog. So there's something going on.
I mean, you can see you can seed it. I mean, they used to, I think, spray, if I'm not mistaken, during Vietnam War. They used to seed the air, so to basically generate clouds and generate rain, so that the fields would become muddy and they wouldn't be able to fight as well, because it just makes moving difficult. I mean, I don't know if there would be a reason for them to do that over here, over like LA. I don't know. What
we've had. I mean, obviously, we've had this conversation amongst one another so many times. The one thing we do notice is anytime you see the condensation in the air and all the lines and the stripes that go through, you're like, all right, so that plane is taking off. It's flying at a very high altitude. And you see the condensation behind it, but it's disappearing quite quickly as the plane is, descending further and further. And then you have the ones where you'll see a stripe from one end of the earth all the way to the other side, where you're like, listen, is there a leprechaun just like the rainbows, or what is really going on? And then all of a sudden, a couple of days later, the weather's funky, people are getting sick. You get a bunch of people spreading a bunch of viruses around, whether it's the flu or COVID or whatever the hell it might be. But it's just fascinating how everything tends to change when you see all these patterns go around. And by change, I mean by weather, by the people. Like, Joe, can you pull up a photo really quickly?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me share the screen for a second, and then
see, like this is what we mean.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
Yeah, when people talk about condensation and all that stuff, the one thing that we want to kind of understand is this condensation, or is this more of spraying?
Yeah. So
here, for example,
this
like this right here, the condensation disappears.
Well, I mean, you got to remember.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. So it's condensation, but it turns into water ice very, very quickly, right? Because temperature at altitude is around 35,000 feet. It's around minus 50. So it's very, very cold. Like vodka freezes at minus 17. Okay. So vodka would turn into ice at minus 17. At that altitude, the temperature is minus 50. So it's really cold. So right after combustion, the combustion generates water. It's in steam form because obviously it's hot exhaust coming out of the engine. It freezes very quickly. But if you look at it, you'll see like the airplane, and you'll see the contrail is a little bit farther behind because it takes time for that hot gas to turn into ice. And based on atmospheric conditions, like what temperature and dew point is, those lines will become more prominent or less prominent. And you can actually, contrails are actually pretty difficult to produce typically.
Joe, can you find a photo of the contrails, but showing the land as well? Because I know what you pulled up was basically just the sky.
Yeah.
Because what I want to talk to Ed about is how spread out it is. Like, as I mentioned, like when you see a plane take off and you see the condensation behind it, it's slowly disappearing as the plane is taking off, regardless of when it is, whether it's in the month of December, January, February. And
not taking off, or no?
In the sky. Well, I mean, it looks like it's still, climbing. That's the only reason why I say it. Mm-hmm. But like now it's like, all right, if it's that cold and it's freezing, why is it spread out that wide? And why is it staying in the air for that long of a period? I mean, we're not talking about like minutes. We're talking about like hours. Like if not days. I mean, I don't pay attention to it as much as Joe does, but like you see it in the morning. By the afternoon, it's still up there. That same trail is still up there.
Well, just to add to that, Arno, before we get back to Edwin, if you notice, there's even gaps in between. So like it shoots and then it stops and then it shoots again. And then
that's why I would want to see. I would want to kind of see a photo of it.
I'll provide that. But continued to that is, for example, there's another plane at the same altitude, and it does not have a contrail. And I know I'm noticing the difference, and I mean I went through pilot training and whatnot. Obviously not on jets, but I mean my eyes are always on the sky, and I could tell you right now at a lower altitude you're seeing those trails, and you're not seeing it at a higher altitude.
Yeah, so contrails, you can generally only generate them within a band of about 5,000 feet.
Right.
So, and we're talking about fighter planes. Fighter planes, so when they fly in formation, that's one of the duties of the guy in your wingman, is to check to see if you're generating contrails, because that's an easy way of spotting you, right? I mean, if you're fighting, if you're in a dogfight, or if you're creating this big fat contrail, it's pretty easy to spot where you are, you know. So you don't want to be generating contrails, and that's one of the jobs of your wingman, to tell you that, okay, we're generating contrails. We need to either climb or descend, and it's typically just a 5,000 foot band.
Yeah,
but it's really based on how much water the air has at that time, you know, which is called, you know, like your relative humidity, right? So, if the air has a lot of water in it, you'll have fog, and that's basically what that is. So you're creating clouds, you're creating fog.
So you think there's no chemtrails up there at all?
I don't think it's a chemtrail. Yeah, I see myself. When I'm flying, sometimes when the conditions are right and we're generating contrails, I see the shadow on the ground, and then when we change altitude, they'll go away. I mean, we don't care in the civilian world. We don't care that we're generating contrails.
Yeah, I mean, look at
except these.
No, we're
not
not
looking at.
We're not claiming that the airliners carry it. These are specific planes owned by the government that are spraying these. It's not. You're not the one.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like they put it in your plane and they say, "Hey, Ed, listen,
don't worry.
Once you get to about 30,000,
don't worry about those two containers there.
Yeah, just push this green button. This will help you boost it." And
it's like Super Mario Boost.
Yeah, this is the mushroom for the airplane. Just push this button and don't worry about the shadow it's casting. just
go, man.
Just keep flying straight. Get these people to a safe place. No. Look, it's a conspiracy theory that a lot of people talk about. Again, a lot of stuff like this does get debunked, but at the same time, a lot of this stuff does end up becoming true. In our cases, obviously, and in the cases of all of humanity, we do hope it's not true. We do hope it's fake, where shit isn't sprayed in our air. Because at the end of the day, when you look at it, you're like, all right, if something is being sprayed in the air, that means whoever is the organizer of the chemicals that are being distributed amongst all of us, them, their family, their loved ones are not immune to that crap either. They're going to be breathing it in just like we are.
Oh, can I push back on that a little bit?
You can go ahead and push back.
Because I don't think it's a conspiracy theory at all.
Are they vaccinated?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I don't. It might not be something that's dangerous in regards to like poisoning people. That's not what I'm saying. We don't have to think negative, right? What if it's something to do with blocking out the sun, to do the geoengineering, controlling the weather, whatever it is that they're talking about, creating rain,
seeding,
or seeding? Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to, but apparently there's heavy metals in there that gets into your water system, that gets into your food.
They also claim it doesn't allow for interception to GPS or some satellites.
I don't know about all that other stuff.
And yet we sleep with Wi-Fi in our houses.
I don't know about any of that other stuff, but here's one thing that I know for a fact, my own eyes, when I'm looking up, yesterday was a clear day.
I agree. I noticed that.
Once they started spraying today in the morning, okay, Look at the sky now.
But we're expecting rain for the next 3 days.
Well, is that a coincidence?
Well, I mean, maybe they're seeding it.
So what would happen if they didn't spray? Would we still be expecting rain?
We would get 70% instead of 100%.
Because honestly, I've been out the whole day. We were doing the whole passport thing, and we were outside the whole day, and I saw these lines literally turn into these clouds.
No, I know.
You're doing the whole passport thing. Aren't you like flying tomorrow?
No. We're going to, it's New Year's.
We're flying in 48 hours.
No, it's for my kid.
This is why we brought Ed. Ed's going to be flying him out.
I guess, yeah, you'll be flying them to Aruba this year.
Is that where he's going?
Yeah, I'm going to Aruba for New Year's with the family.
Oh, that's awesome. Aruba.
But that reminds me of our Exuma story where we were supposed to fly to Exuma in Jamaica. Okay. No, not Jamaica, Bahamas. And on our way to the airport, my brother-in-law is like, shit, my passport's expired. We're like, what do you mean your passport's
serious?
expired?
Oh, really?
Yeah, so long story short, we ended up in Miami, and it was a Friday. He had to wait till Monday, early morning, went, renewed his license in Miami. But by then, things were, we couldn't find flights or anything, and we just ended up staying in South Beach and Miami. But that's what I think Joe's trying to do. They're flying for New Year's, but we don't have a passport yet.
Mini Super Chat received. Someone's testing the waters.
What is Arno saying? So, 20 years ago, we saw a Boeing carrying a
shuttle.
So, why charge me $200 for a small carry-on due to weight purposes?
Hold on. How much do you weigh, Arno de Capo? I'm curious.
Oof.
That's funny. George Carlin had a skit years ago. He's like, one day we were going to fly in this small little plane, like a 20 passenger plane, and they're lined up near the tarmac to get on the plane. And I guess the pilot was asking, everybody's weight. And as the pilot gets to him, the lady in front of him is a heavy-set woman, but she's like, well, what's your weight? She goes, well, 120. He's like, because of this lady lying to the pilot, I had to increase my weight by 120 pounds to balance out. I think that's what Arno de Capo was concerned about.
Dude, but believe it or not, recently when flying out, if your suitcases have been a pound or even 2 pounds overweight, they've been fine. I mean, a lot of these airlines, they've kind of...
Yeah, but that's just money. I mean, that weight is still on the plane. It's not like, well, now we got to charge you extra $100 for that 4 pounds. Okay. And how's that going to affect, like, are you going to make the airplane stronger, more capable? Or, I mean, it's still going to be on the same
it's airplane a money grab.
Anyways. Exactly. They claim it's because the employees who are handling your baggage, it's heavier. We don't want them to strain their backs or anything. So
bro, I'll guarantee I'll put a 50-pound bag and a 54-pound bag and be like, hey, which one's heavier? They won't even know the difference.
That's, they have to draw the line somewhere, obviously.
No, I know.
But I would be okay if that extra money you have to pay was actually going to these people. The ones who are, what is that thing called? The belts. Conveyor belts. If those guys were getting that money,
yeah,
fine.
I doubt it.
But I'm sure the airlines.
Yeah, their body language doesn't look like they're getting it.
It's kind of like, some of these places you rent, like these playgrounds or, banquet halls, and they'll charge a fee, 18% fee. Okay, but that's not a tip. So what is that? Oh, it's actually the service fee for the people to do their job. Oh, so then now we have to tip another 18%. So we're paying 36% service fee. Like,
well, now LA is incorporating the health fee as well. So now we have to pay for people's health insurance as well.
No kidding, really.
4%.
Yeah. You don't go to any restaurants in Los Angeles anymore.
Yeah, you're gonna pay 4% for it.
Yeah, your bill is gonna be $20, but you're gonna be paying $40 in gratuity.
Some doctors treat pain. Others help you understand it. Dr. Rafi Gureghian has dedicated his career to helping people live stronger, healthier, and more aware of their bodies. His approach goes beyond quick fixes. It's about rebuilding movement, discipline, and mindset. A true professional who's changing the way people think about health and recovery. Presented by the WiseNuts Podcast, highlighting leaders who make a difference.
When you're involved in an accident, choosing the right attorney is the most important decision you can make. Let us show you why we're different at Megeredchian Law. With 11 attorneys on our team, we're able to go to trial and fight for your case. More important, the pedigree of our firm is customer service, so you always get a call, you always get an update. Lastly, we're results driven. We win. Let us show you how. Call us at 818-530-1300 or bestcaraccidentattorney.com.
Anything else about aviation, or well, you wanted to also discuss aerospace, no?
Yeah, I mean, I love space. Yeah, hopefully one day I'll get to go there.
You had signed up to go, no?
Yes, I have signed up. Yes.
Is that waiting list still pending, or that's kind of that I guess flight no longer exists?
I mean, I did the training. There wasn't that much training, but I've done the training. Unfortunately, the spacecraft that I was supposed to fly on had an accident. So, yeah, fortunately, I wasn't on it.
You were supposed to be on it, right? Or
well, eventually. But
Is this recent?
this was about, I want to say, 7 years ago, I think.
And the passengers all...
Well, I mean, they had test pilots on them, and one of them actually survived by some. It was a miracle because the vehicle broke apart. He got thrown out. So, I mean, it was amazing because the vehicle broke apart and somehow his seat got thrown out of the spaceship and his parachute deployed. And he didn't do any of this himself because he was unconscious, but he survived. I mean, he got beat up, banged up pretty bad, but unfortunately, the other pilot, he went down with the vehicle. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's
It's a dream.
Yeah, I mean, I would
it's a
love
dream of yours, basically.
it's a dream of mine. Yeah.
what is it about space that you're so fascinated by?
I mean, I can't think of anything more exciting to do than go to space. I don't know. Can you?
Look, to me, see, that's the thing, because I remember when I was in my teens, I wanted to get a pilot's license. And then I think, when was it? In my early 30s, I decided, okay, let me follow through on it. So that's when I went and flew a couple of planes. And what I was turned off by a little bit, or kind of disappointed in, was the fact that when I was in the air, 10,000 feet up in the air, it just felt like, okay, I'm just in the air. There's nothing going on, nothing exciting. I'm not like near the water or near the mountains, where it's like, oh, wow, scenic. You're just up in the air at 10,000 feet. You just feel like you're hanging. So I was kind of disappointed in that. And to me, space would be like, yeah, I love the stars and all that. I mean, when we go, rare occasion, we go camping or anything, or we go to Joshua Tree or somewhere where there aren't very many city lights, the stars seem like the galaxy, everything just, at an arm's reach, right? Sure. So yeah, that's fascinating to me. But I would imagine if you're all the way in space, looking around, it's just dark, like you're in the middle of the ocean. That's what I can't get over. And that's why I didn't pursue my pilot's license, because I was like, okay, there's nothing happening here. Like, maybe a helicopter would be a little more entertaining.
Or do you want to go to the International Space Station? Is that where you want to kind of...
I would love to go to to the ISS, International Space Station. But even more so to go to a heavenly body, go to the moon or to Mars.
Well, I mean, we've never been to the moon. So, I mean, how would you go to the moon? Do you really think we've been to the moon?
I don't know. I have a friend that went to the moon.
You had a friend that went to the moon.
Yes.
Was it at Warner Brothers or Universal Studios?
Paramount.
Paramount?
Was that Walt Disney?
I think Edwin wasn't expecting this. He's like, he thought he's coming on the WiseNuts.
You really think we went to the moon in the 1970s?
I 100% believe that we went to the moon.
That paper mache piece of crap flew to the moon and then basically took off and then came back to Earth?
Yes, it did.
So Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon and walked on the moon.
Correct.
Wow, that's a bold statement. I don't think there's no way we went on that. We were going through a Cold War, and the biggest flex for the United States to do after Sputnik obviously was released by the Russians was, hey, listen, you could release Sputnik, but we're going to go to the moon, and that was full on Hollywood production. There is no way Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin went to the moon.
How come we haven't gone back since? I would think you go once in the 60s. It's been, 60 years almost.
Should be easier to go back again.
You're like, hey, why not? Right?
Well, it's very expensive. And, there's no economical reason to go there. There is scientific, and it's just scientific, and you've already been there. It's kind of like climbing Mount Everest. You've climbed it.
Yeah, but multiple people have gone to Mount Everest.
Thousands and tens of thousands of people.
I would think that maybe Jeff Bezos doesn't have enough money to say, you know what? I want to go to the moon.
Well,
why do you believe we didn't go to the moon? Because it was difficult
I don't think we're capable of going to the moon. I really truly don't think that the radiation that's surrounding the planet will allow us to go to the moon.
There's definitely radiation. I agree.
I've heard from NASA scientists over the years that I've talked to in the past 20 or so years, the radiation on the moon, a human being cannot, no matter what type of suit you're wearing, if you could even be wearing one of those COVID masks, and you still can't reach the moon. You would die before getting there.
It's not that powerful. It's not good to be in it for sure for a long time, but so before we went to the moon, there were multiple programs. There was the Mercury program that we sent people up into space and came back, and they orbited, Alan Shepard and John Glenn.
I think orbiting, yes. Going around our planet as far as just like a satellite, yes. But there is a certain threshold that I truly don't think we can pass.
So how far do you think the moon is?
420
something
thousand
miles,
I think, something like that.
It's about 250,000 miles. So you're not that far off. Yeah, but 250,000 miles isn't that far. I've had cars that have had but it's 120,000 miles.
But look, it's not about the distance of where it is,
Sure.
but it's about getting to the moon.
I agree.
And what we have to go through in order to reach it.
Correct.
And not only that, land on the moon. And look, landing on the moon back in the 1970s, I get it. Okay, you know what? We landed on the moon. And then that paper mache piece of crap, as I mentioned, take off again? Really? So who was filming it take off? The camera was there, live streaming.
Remember,
to black and white television. There was no streaming.
There was no streaming. There was no digital, nothing. It was film. What else was there? It wasn't, obviously.
Bro, there was no remote controls. You had to walk up to your television to turn dial.
No, what happened was they landed. Well, before they landed, the cameraman jumps off, filming the landing.
So wait, Neil Armstrong wasn't the first one on the moon?
No.
Okay.
And then when they're about to take off, he films. They take off about 100 feet or so. As he's filming, he stops. They come back, pick him up.
Oh, I thought maybe he was tied to it. And as they're going.
Besides that, how would they communicate? For example, from 238,000 miles.
Bro, why are we arguing this? This never happened. I truly don't think it happened.
At the same time, at the same time, I don't mean to cut you off, but at the same time, they said that they destroyed the technology and they can't go back. That's why they can't.
They
go
lost
back.
the blueprints, huh?
Okay,
Yeah.
Back to the future.
No, I'm serious.
What do you think?
That's the claim.
The rocket that took him up there, it was the Saturn V, and they built more than one. They actually built spare rockets, and there is a fully functional Saturn V in Kennedy Space Center right now.
Joe, can we pull up a picture of Saturn V to see what it looks like?
Sure. Do you want me to just share the screen?
Yeah.
Go
Share
that
the screen.
way?
Share the
Okay.
screen as we're having a conversation, basically, about because I'm curious to see what that Saturn V looks like.
Sure. Let's go to it real quick.
239,000 miles away. So Saturn V.
5. Is it number 5?
Sure.
Rocket?
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's what it looks like.
Go to images real quick. Or just
yeah.
go to Google Images real quick. I just want to see.
The only thing is share this tab instead. Here it is. This is the Saturn V.
Yep. And actually now it's indoors. It was out there. It was kind of rotting. Yeah, there it is. There's.
So this took off to the moon, and then what was it that landed on the moon? What was that thing called?
That was a lunar lander.
Okay, so the lunar lander, and the lunar lander took off and came back to Earth after.
Well, part of it. Actually, the only part that came back was the very, very tip, which is very, very small. If you go to Smithsonian's there, it's very small.
Well, yeah, because at some point, that bottom, the flame, that part releases, and then the top portion reaches.
Sure. Yeah.
But then, do you build that back and fly back? How do you come back?
No, you throw it away. That's the problem. That's why it's so expensive to go to space, because up to recently, until SpaceX built Falcon 9, which is partially reusable, all space vehicles were disposed of. I mean, it was used only one time.
Right. So that's my question. You use it once, you get to the moon. Okay, fine. We landed on the moon. Then what do we use to come back?
Well, I mean, a portion of it comes back, but smaller and smaller portions come back. Because going to space, you kind of have to, you have to cheat. You can't build like an airplane kind of a thing and just go to space and bring the whole thing back. It's very, very difficult. So what they do is you basically build it in multiple stages, so you can keep on throwing away parts of it.
Yeah, but Ed, you look at the rocket, right? What was that? Was the Saturn V, right? You said the Saturn V taking off. You watch the video footage of it. It's got a bunch of energy and fire blowing from underneath it, lifting that out of the atmosphere into space, right?
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden you have this small little lunar, or whatever you call it, a moon rover, do the same thing on the moon and take off with the half the amount of energy.
Well,
if not less.
Besides that, all I'm trying to figure out is how the hell did they fit the car on that little thing?
There's a car as well.
There's a car that they're driving around, golfing and doing stuff. Like, how did they do that?
No, let's say we have all the technology here to get there. But then how do you come back? You don't have the same base, same foundation.
That's what I'm saying. Like the energy that it took to lift that rocket out of its atmosphere. Because the moon has an atmosphere, doesn't it?
No, the moon doesn't have atmosphere.
Zero atmosphere?
Zero atmosphere. So that's the good thing about it. And
so you just fall off and then you come to Earth? Or?
Yeah, so you got to have propulsive landing. You can't parachute down. So you basically have to have like an engine, rocket engine pointing down to slow you down.
Slow you down.
Yeah. But the good thing,
but then you could bounce and run on it, and gravity kind of.
Well, the thing is that moon is 1/6 the size of Earth. So you only weigh 1/6. So that's really good. So if your, let's say, rocket weighs 60,000 pounds, which it didn't, it weighed a fraction of that. On the moon, it would only weigh 10,000
pounds.
So it's a lot easier to get off. So the thing is, actually, what people don't realize is that if Earth's gravity was just 3% more powerful, about maybe 5% more powerful, we would never be able to get off Earth.
Really?
Yeah, it's that tight. So, because a really good rocket, really efficient rocket, except the very, very recent ones, would be able to take off to put like 3% of its weight into orbit. But your average rocket could only put maybe 1.5%, 2%.
Interesting.
of its weight. So if it's a 1,000,000-pound vehicle, you could put between 1,000 to 3,000 pounds of it into orbit. So it's very difficult to get. That's why you have to build it in multiple stages. So you have to keep on throwing those stages away so it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. So,
but seeing the video footage of Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and the other astronaut who landed on the moon, seeing the footage of it today, do you really think that was on the moon, or do you think that was in Hollywood studio? Be honest, Edward.
I think this started, when they had, I think James Bond, I think Sean Connery had a James Bond movie that he drives off, he gets into this moon rover and drives off this movie studio set through a wall or whatever. I think that's kind of where this whole thing started. But yeah, I definitely do. And so I've known some of these people personally, and I can guarantee you that, they went. And if you think about it, about 400,000 people worked on the moon rocket. That's a lot of people to keep a secret. That's a lot of people to keep a secret and take it to their grave.
How many people again?
400,000
people worked on the rocket.
Worked on the rocket, on the Apollo mission.
But they don't need to know. I mean, the rocket still can take off, and the only ones that need to know are, Buzz Aldrin and
Neil Armstrong.
Yeah. Lance Armstrong with the bicycle.
Yeah, the guy with one testicle.
But those are the guys, right? One of those two that you're friends with.
Sure. Yes.
Right? Yeah, okay.
Hold on, you're friends with one of the two?
Yes.
Is it Buzz?
Yes.
Can we get Buzz on the show? Because look, there's been conversation. I know he's much older, but there's conversations of Buzz Aldrin where they've had where they've confronted him and asked him, "Listen, put your right hand on the Bible and swear to God that if you landed on the moon," and he won't do it.
Well, I mean, he's not very religious. I mean, even if he did it, so he probably wouldn't.
He'd probably lie about it.
Yeah, he actually punched somebody.
He did.
Yeah, he punched somebody. Yeah.
I think, guys, for those of you out there that are trying to lose weight, maybe we should fly to the moon. Would be one.
Look, I think if we did land on the moon, and again, hypothetically speaking, I still don't believe that we did it. But if we did land on the moon, I think something, especially since the fact we haven't gone back, I think something was there that told us, hey, listen, you're not filming anything here. You can go back to your Hollywood studio and film whatever you got to film, but we're going to take everything, all the footage, everything that you have, go back and never come back again.
What do you think was there, Arno?
I don't know.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Epstein.
Mini super chat received.
Oh, geez.
Someone's testing the waters.
Karim was the first to land on the moon.
To record.
Or to record.
Yeah, Karim landed before Neil Armstrong.
Lance Armstrong. What is your obsession with Lance Armstrong?
Because I've watched Lance's documentary a couple of years ago. Maybe that's why.
I'd take Neil Armstrong on the podcast over Lance Armstrong. No offense, Lance. I mean, you're still a cheater.
Well, according to you, so is Lance. So is Neil.
No, Neil was just probably blackmailed.
That's not cheating, fooling the whole world that you landed on the moon.
Has Neil Armstrong? Well, I mean, he said he has landed on the moon, but he's dead now, so we can't even know.
But you're claiming he hasn't.
Yeah, I'm claiming he hasn't.
Yeah, so according to you, he cheated.
Yes. Yes.
Both Lance and Neil have cheated.
but we got. Would you be able to connect to Buzz?
I don't know. He's really up there. It's difficult. I mean, I talk to him once in a while, but it's difficult to get a hold of him nowadays.
We'll go to him.
But Buzz Aldrin has actually been coming out on YouTube and stuff and claiming that. Well, he hasn't been claiming, but he's been hinting that he never landed on the moon.
Well, we'll talk to him. Hopefully,
it's right here. I could play a video too.
Can you?
Yeah, right here.
All right, let's play this.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going.
How old is Buzz right now?
95.
Oh,
95. Wow,
You gotta get him on.
that's gonna be.
You gotta get him on. We gotta go to him.
Well, he's the pilot who can fly us to him.
Well, he's here. You don't have to fly to him.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah, he's in West LA.
Oh,
Oh, interesting. We gotta go to. Oh, I just got one question for him. That's it. You guys can handle the rest.
we'll just send you with an iPhone, Mr. Aldridge.
He'll probably punch me.
Yeah, he would punch you if he could. Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Hey,
if
listen.
he knows that's what you're going to ask him,
I got
won't give you
I got punched by a 95-year-old ex-astronaut who allegedly.
Now, if he knocks you out, that'd be bad.
If he not, you know what?
95-year-old.
If he knocks me out, hats off to him.
Speaking of knocking out, it was nice to see Jake Paul get knocked out.
It was nice to see Jake Paul actually get brought back to reality. Are you a fan of boxing or sports? Did you watch the fight on Saturday?
I'm not. I did not.
Or
watch
Friday?
It, no. Was it a good fight?
Do you know Jake Paul?
No, I do not.
Well, there's these two brothers who have become these YouTube sensations, Logan Paul
really?
and Jake Paul. Logan Paul is now in the WWE.
Oh, really?
And Jake Paul has fought a lot of older, retired former boxers like Mike Tyson and
Well, he fought Anderson Silva. He's fought Nate Diaz. He's fought a bunch of people.
Yes.
Finally, he on Friday fought somebody who's relevant as far as like being in shape, and
He fought somebody in their prime, basically.
Yeah.
He fought an actual professional boxer, and he went about 6 rounds into it until the Anthony Joshua, who he was fighting, a heavyweight boxer, decided to break his jaw in 2 places.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. It was pretty bad. I mean, look, the entire fight was somewhat of a circus show because number one, Anthony Joshua had a massive amount of weight over Jake Paul.
in height. I mean, the guy looked.
Yeah, I mean, height.
Towering.
Yeah, height and weight. So, a lot of the shots that he was.
Joe, do you have a picture of them face off?
Yeah,
find one.
A lot of the shots that Anthony Joshua was giving to Jake Paul, it was to the point where Jake Paul was basically just kind of shooting for his legs and just collapsing because it was like, all right, I don't know what I'm getting myself into. It seemed like it was like a mercy kind of thing. Like, hey, listen, please just stop doing what you're doing. But it went into the 6th round where you're watching this fight take place and you can see the physical specimen of Anthony Joshua not being
Right
gassed.
there on the bottom.
Yeah.
Like that face off.
Yeah, that's insane.
Which one? Oh, right here?
Yeah, right there.
One of those, yeah.
Anthony Joshua not being right there, that one. That's a good one. Not being gassed at all, and Jake Paul is huffing and puffing. And by the end of the 6th round, I mean, he gave him a left hook, a body shot, and then a right hook right to the jaw, which completely cleaned out Jake Paul.
Right there, Edwin.
Yeah. And he collapsed.
That still doesn't show quite their difference, but he was massive. And Jake is a big guy too, but this guy was just massive.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversation taking place now that they were saying that it wasn't part of the script for the professional boxer to knock out the influencer. And
I doubt that, because if that was the case, it would be in the contract where he doesn't get paid, or he gets paid, let's say, 10% of the purse instead of making $90 million.
Well, the conversation was, it was a $92 million split, by the way. They both made $92 million.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's insane money. But I mean,
18 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy money. But we'll get to the money in a little bit. But a lot of people were talking about a no knockout clause. And Anthony Joshua was saying, well, I didn't knock him out. I just basically stopped him from continuing the fight. Because if he knocked him out, he would have been completely out cold. But I mean, he just broke his jaw in 2 places. And there was video footage and photos of the inside of Jake Paul's mouth where you saw his mandible completely detached, the teeth. It was
really
crazy. I mean, it just shows you the power of a heavyweight. And that's Anthony Joshua. Could you imagine like prime Mike Tyson?
Well, I mean, even the Mike Tyson, this just proves that Mike Tyson was
was holding his punches back.
Yeah, of course.
That was I watched that fight. That was
With Jake Paul?
Yeah, that was pretty sorry. The one with Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
That was a boring. Oh my God, that was
was
not
completely staged. But you know, the one that was actually very bad was Andrew Tate's fight on Saturday.
Andrew Tate's fight was bad.
That was embarrassing, man. All these years of tough guy and kickboxer, this, that, like, come on, man.
Look, here's the thing. I want to give him benefit of the doubt because he's a kickboxer. He's not a boxer.
Have you seen the other guy's other fights?
I know they're horrendous.
He fights like a cheerleader.
No, I know they're horrendous, but a lot of people online.
No, seriously, he swings like a cheerleader.
But you're taking somebody out of their natural habitat as far as a kickboxer, putting him in a ring.
Don't put yourself in that.
Well, I mean, again, he hasn't fought in 10 years as well.
And you know what the funny thing is? I mean,
5 years of his life, he was practically like running from the feds and.
Yes, but he was training every day. He trained more in prison than he did throughout his kickboxing career.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
But what I was truly shocked about is at one point, you were the most controversial Googled man on earth. And literally anybody I asked would not know that he had a fight on Saturday. They're like, well, Andrew Tate's fight. You guys didn't even know.
No, I knew.
No, you didn't.
What do you mean, no, I didn't?
Remember, we were sitting here 2 weeks ago. I said, Andrew Tate's fighting in December. You're like, no way. Who is he fighting?
Well, yeah, because it wasn't finalized yet. Chase hadn't signed the
Of course it was finalized. They finalized it Thursday?
Well, no, not Thursday, but it was like...
You did not even know about it.
Well, I mean...
you're on the internet 35 hours a day. So imagine, nobody knew about it.
I think it was poor promotion.
But okay, you're the most famous guy on earth.
Was.
You couldn't get 45 people to watch your fight?
I think if Andrew Tate, when he just got out of jail, had done that fight, I think he would have gotten a lot more views than now. I mean, he's become somewhat, again, I don't want to say irrelevant, but it's white noise at this point. It's the same thing over and over.
And Ali Soba would have had more views.
Oh,
that's
God.
Not saying much.
But the funniest part of Ben Azule and Ali Soba is
their guests that were two guests that were on our show 7-8 months ago. Look, man, can I say should I say this? Can I say this? Yes, you may.
As far as sign the contract that's being pushed constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, can we just say that there is no contract?
Well, I mean, with our involvement as of now, from our knowledge, there is no contract as of now.
Yeah, but I mean, we've heard the 411 why there is no contract.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of...
I'm confused what you guys are talking about.
Oh, should we not hold back at all?
I mean, you could do it. We could do whatever we want, right? It's our show, but
it's our show.
Maybe we should hold back on this.
I don't think we should hold back at this point.
Do whatever you feel is necessary, Arno.
I'm clueless, Ed, as you are.
All right, so
I have no idea what you're talking about. You guys have been coming out of the closet or what?
No. That was last week.
Okay.
Last week.
But I mean, look, this whole Ben Azule and Ali Soba thing, as far as them talking about, signing a contract and they're going to be fighting each other and it's going to be a boxing match. Neither one of these guys has ever fought professionally. We've spoken to multiple promoters and no athletic commission will sanction them. So, I mean, they're just trying to hype up this big fight against one another where, I mean, we've attempted to make it happen, all three of us, but it's kind of like every single promoter we talk to, they're just like, who are these guys? Like,
really?
Like, what are we doing with this? Like, none of them have ever fought professionally. No athletic commission is going to sanction them. Why are we wasting our time? So there's a lot of people that like to, as Armand was mentioning, with Andrew Tate, where they become very big at one point, and when you're big, that's when you take advantage of it. But then when the plane begins to run out of fuel and it's gliding down. No one's really going to care.
Remember?
You just want to land safely.
Remember I told you guys a couple months ago when I talked to one of the promoters and he was like, so many celebrities have tried and they've all failed. The only one that has been able to do it successfully was Jake Paul.
Yep. And that's why everybody wants to fight Jake Paul, because that's where the cash cow is. Just like Conor McGregor.
I would fight him for 90 million.
Shit, I'd fight him for 5 million or 2 million. You know how much money $92 million is? Do you know what you could do with $92 million?
Glendale, you can build 2 ADUs.
We can go to space for $92 million, can't we? We could. I'm sure you could pay
250 grand to go to space. No, with the blue, what's it called? Jeff Bezos.
The Blue Origin? No, it's Blue Origin is more. It's a couple $1 million.
Oh, it's a couple million.
Like 3 million, 4 million?
No, I think it's more like 2 million.
2 million? Look at that. And you got 90 million to spare.
Oh, I think Elon Musk was saying he wants to make it affordable around 200 grand or so.
Affordable?
Okay. Well,
I mean, he wants to colonize Mars, right? So he can't have people pay. I know this other person, and he paid 20 million to go to space, but he went to He went to the ISS.
Yes, I remember it was 20 million before.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went up.
And you got 72 million left.
Wasn't that guy from NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys or whatever that paid to go to space or wanted to
No,
go
they
to
had a
space?
performance at the Sphere in Vegas. That's the one you're referring to. And the tickets are $1,400.
And they started at like 200. That was the easiest flip you could have done in the world, bro. Nobody was expecting that concert to blow up that big.
When you're involved in an accident, choosing the right attorney is the most important decision you can make. Let us show you why we're different at Megeredchian Law. With 11 attorneys on our team, we're able to go to trial and fight for your case. More important, the pedigree of our firm is customer service, so you always get a call, you always get an update. Lastly, we're results driven. We win. Let us show you how. Call us at 818-530-1300 or bestcaraccidentattorney.com.
Some doctors treat pain, others help you understand it. Dr. Rafi Gureghian has dedicated his career to helping people live stronger, healthier, and more aware of their bodies. His approach goes beyond quick fixes. It's about rebuilding movement, discipline, and mindset. A true professional who's changing the way people think about health and recovery. Presented by the WiseNuts Podcast, highlighting leaders who make a difference.
Technology should move your business forward, not hold it back. At Titan Elite IT Services and Consulting, we make sure it does. Our clients don't wait days for help. They get real-time answers, fast resolutions, and dedicated support, both on-site and remote. From Los Angeles to Orange and Ventura counties, our coverage is local, statewide, and nationwide. When you need us, we're already on the way. We're not just an MSP. We build with you, from cloud migration to security to every endpoint in your network.
At Titan Elite, we don't just solve problems. We prevent them from happening. We become a part of your team and we grow with you.
Titan Elite IT Services and Consulting. Strategic, scalable, trusted, and always on.
Let's jump into some business and entrepreneurship, huh?
Sure.
I think that's your forte.
Yeah, a little bit.
You're too modest. That
No,
you gotta go. No, I'm not. I mean, you don't just become a pilot just because you know. You have to have something on the side that you've done successfully over the years.
Well, semi-successful, yeah.
Yes. Tell us. Don't be shy.
Well, I mean, it's really very, very kind of mundane and boring. But yeah, so the way that I make a living is actually in transportation. So I started a company close to 40 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. Yeah.
So you were probably one of, if not the first Armenian in the transportation freight logistics business, right?
Yeah.
If you started in the 80s.
Yeah. Early 80s, yeah. Actually, I beg your pardon. It was later in the 80s.
Were you doing local or nationwide transportation?
We started doing nationwide. We used to go coast to coast. But then we retracted. So we got small. I mean, our geographic footprint, we made it smaller. So we basically
scaled it down from nationwide
down to.
What was the reasoning behind that, though?
It was just it's difficult for drivers to be gone that long. That was really challenging.
So it wasn't a liability kind of thing.
No, it's not a liability thing. It's just difficult because, and I felt bad for the drivers being gone that long. You know, and their families suffer.
See, it's fascinating you say that, because nowadays there are drivers who are willing to take longer routes. In fact, my uncle, who's in the industry as well, he's always willing to take coast to coast drives.
Oh, really?
In fact, he's actually willing to stay on the other side of the United States and wait in order to pick up another freight and bring it back.
Sure.
How's his relationship with his family?
Oh, he has zero relationship with his family. He's divorced and his children are married off.
There you go.
So, he has a relationship with his family. He has a great relationship with his kids. They're married. They have their own life. He just doesn't have a wife.
There you go. But how? Because a lot of people you watch, there's these funny clips on Instagram. It's like you wake up at 4 a.m. and you open an LLC and, you go to the bank, you get a $50 million loan, and then you open another.
And you 10X that.
You 10X that. And then
you buy a $300 million apartment building and you 10X that.
Yeah. So they've turned entrepreneurship into kind of a joke in a sense. You've been in it. You've been a business owner, entrepreneur for almost 40 years, if not longer. I don't know what you did prior to that, but I guess I want you to maybe dive in a little bit into the fact that how most people's perception of owning a business is, okay, we'll go rent this place and $50,000, we buy some inventory, a couple of trucks, we're in business. That's it. Have nothing. That's the extent of their understanding of how that business is going to operate.
Yeah.
I mean, can you talk about the intricacies, the complications of being an entrepreneur, the focus it takes and the know-how and, just understanding regulations and government laws and you name it. I mean, HR, this, that. I mean, because most people, I don't think, understand what it takes to be a business owner.
Yeah, it's I started off very young and not, knowing very little, almost nothing about business. I think people don't realize how much work it is to be an entrepreneur. It is. It's actually not difficult to do business so long as you're willing to spend about 100 hours a week working. So,
also it's not 40 hours a week. God.
So, yeah. So, one quality I'm definitely not the sharpest knife in the drawer or anything. Just the tenacity. You just got to have tenacity. You just got to stick with it. Just go through the grind. It is 99% perspiration and only 1% inspiration. It really is.
Who said that?
I have no idea.
Was it Vince Lombardi or who was it?
No, I think it was Thomas Edison that said that.
Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Thomas Edison.
99% perspiration,
because
1% determination.
Thomas Edison was the one who, it took him 1,100 tries to invent the light bulb or something, right?
Yeah, they had a lot of failures. I mean, he tried so many things. It was insane.
And his thing was, every time I failed, I knew I was that much closer to
to success.
To success, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just fail fast and fail often. Yeah.
How did it take a toll on your relationship with the wife and the kids and stuff?
It's not good. I mean, it's difficult to kind of explain it away. Yeah, I swear to God, I was at work, Annie. You're gone 100 hours a week. What are you doing?
Oh, jeez.
No, but it's just a lot of work, and it's not glamorous work.
Yeah, you just got to come home at that point and just be like, honey, just smell my armpit. Would you sleep with me?
It's funny. It was my company Christmas party last weekend. One of my staff members, she's so funny. She's like, my partner complains I work so much, so many long hours, but she doesn't mind the 10th and the 26th of the month. That's when she gets paid. She's like, she doesn't mind those days, but the other days she's like, you're working so much, and she doesn't mind the new car I got her. I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's how it is. It's the hours tend to they see the amount of hours you spend and the time away from family and all that, but then right when that deposit hits and you can go on Amazon.com and order whatever the hell you want.
You blow that paycheck right away. Like the motto is always, and I've said this before, you work hard, you play hard. Yeah, you got to, whatever you work, the hours you put in, you have to be patient enough to enjoy it and basically reap the benefits, or not only reap the benefits, but the seed that you plant and the tree that grows to enjoy the fruit, harvest the fruit and enjoy it. But it takes time. It takes time for that business or that venture that you're going through to grow. I mean, Rome wasn't built overnight.
Yeah, absolutely. These overnight successes take a long time. Is the saying.
It takes 20 years to become an overnight success, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, it takes perseverance and tenacity, and it's just a lot of work.
You know what it always reminds me of? It reminds me of that iceberg photo. Have you seen that iceberg photo where it's showing an iceberg with it basically floating on top of water, and at the tip of the iceberg it says success, but on the bottom of the iceberg is where
90% of it
90% of it is the hardship, the late nights, the arguments, the fights, the hiring and firing of employees, finding that right manager, all that hardship that you go through is what people don't really see.
Yeah.
What they do see is the success, and that's what a lot of people are going through, which is a problem with today's generation.
That is absolutely true.
Today's generation wants everything. It's an instant gratification. That's what they want. They want easy money, and they want as minimal work as possible.
Because a lot of this new generation has also been sold on a lie, which is follow your passion. Okay. What is my passion on? For example, let's say you like to paint. You're just going to follow your passion. You're going to paint. You're going to make a living painting. Yeah. Can you potentially? Maybe. But if you have a family, you can paint on the weekends maybe, but you still need a job. And my thing, when sometimes, the younger generation asks, well, I'm like, screw your passion, bro. Like, become successful in something. I promise you'll find a passion in it. If you become the best realtor, you're going to find passion in real estate. You become a good pilot, you advance in your career, you're going to become passionate about flying. You don't have to be passionate about flying. If you think, okay, this is what I can do. Maybe being a pilot is slightly different because it's not necessarily an easy thing to do. You have to go through long, hours and years of training to be an airline pilot. But most things you can do in a matter of a couple of years. Just like when vocational schools used to exist. Nobody was like, yeah, I want to grow up and be a plumber. No, when you make $200,000 a year as a plumber, you become passionate about pipes.
And what goes through them.
Yeah, because today doctors can't make $200,000 a year.
Oh yeah, man.
It's and even if they do, they owe $500,000 in tuition loans. So by the time they pay that off, they're 60 years old. Okay, now I get to keep some of my money. Oh, really? At 60 years old?
After paying off those loans.
Yeah, it's crazy. Those loans kill these academics. They go to school for so many years, become engineers and whatnot, attorneys. They're paying their loans off until their late 40s, 50s. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad, man. It's very, very sad.
Knowing what you know and all the success you've had in life, what would be your advice to like somebody in their 20s who's trying to figure out, okay, how do I, find myself? What should I look into? Especially with AI today, it's challenging to figure out like, okay, where do I see myself in 20 years? Because in 20 years, none of us may be working anymore. We may each have 14 robots at home and we have a universal base income and everything's paid for. I don't know. It's so difficult like if my kids are very young. If they ask me, what do you think I should become, Dad? I have no idea what they should study in school.
Become a plumber. I don't know. I think I swear. I mean, what else? I mean, you don't want to become a radiologist, you know. What you may call it? AI is already doing a much better job.
They're going to be having AI read those results.
It's difficult to say. I mean, what are you going to be? You're not going to be a truck driver. I mean, trucks are going to be autonomous.
I mean, even pharmacy at this point is at jeopardy as well, because there's pharmaceutical vending machines that are being made, and now they're integrating AI into it, where the AI robot is going to be able to sort and package all your medicine for you much, much quicker.
They already have that. One of our friends, Ray, Sort Pack.
There you go.
Really?
All those kids that want to be pharmacists, there goes their dreams.
Go get your plumbing license. But looking back, anything different you would have done?
I would have probably picked a less competitive business. I mean, everybody thinks their business is the hardest, right? But there are businesses that they really are harder.
But Ed, that made you who you are. The competitiveness, no?
Yeah.
I think competition makes somebody stronger, makes them actually become better at their craft, doesn't it?
But there was competition even back then, or you're talking about just over the years?
It was. I mean, transportation has a low entry. I mean, the barrier to entry is very low, right? So if you got $5,000, you can go open up a trucking company, right? You put a down payment on a truck, and you have one truck, and now you're a trucking company. You know, so it's the barrier to entry is very, very low. So there's there's a lot of competition. But yeah, I mean, but it depends on your character. I'm very kind of detail oriented, and so this business is a pennies business. So you make just a few pennies on the dollar. Like, you know, if we made 8%, I'd be dancing in the street. So 8% is huge profit in trucking. So you average between 3 to 5%. So you better be on top of your game as far as, you know, counting your pennies, make sure you're keeping your costs in line and so forth. And that's kind of inherently what my character is. So I'm very detail oriented. So it was, you know, that was partially why I managed to stay in business.
Do you happen to have like an engineering background, education?
I mean, I've studied, I mean, all my background is, to be honest, as far as education, is in aerospace. All of it.
That's where the details come in.
Yeah.
Very analytical individual, I can tell.
Yes, I count pennies. So, yeah, that's
must be a lot of pennies.
It's like that car wash tip jar. It's like the car wash is $19.99. They give you the penny, and they purposely put that little tip jar right in the front. So you take the penny, you look at it, you go, all right, you know what? But hey, listen, man, those pennies add up eventually.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah.
Unless it's in a fountain in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
But anyways,
that's a good one. I gotta like that.
But is there anything else that we want to cover with Ed before we call it a night?
There's one thing.
What is it?
I found what they call it. It's solar radiation management. Back at that whole chemtrail thing.
Okay.
So apparently,
solar radiation management.
Yeah, there's a ticker down here. It pretty much explains everything. I guess they're putting in sulfur dioxide, calcium carbonate. So what you're seeing in the air right now is not water vapor. No.
It's everything but water vapor.
Exactly. So there's major concerns and whatnot here. It mentions it on the bottom, like sulfur dioxide, calcium carbonate.
I can't read that fast, Joe.
Yeah, I know. I'm just. You are a little far from the screen. But yeah.
THOUGH. How do you pronounce it? Tawa?
Yeah.
Tagawa?
That's Tagalog.
Tagawa. Oh, jeez.
Anyway.
Ozone depletion.
Well, it's Christmas week.
Yes, it is. Well, we want to obviously thank Ed for taking time out of his Monday to be with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
We truly do appreciate it. Well, maybe one day we can hop on one of those planes with you, and you could take us a 50,000
See for yourself.
feet and show us that curvature.
Because every time I've texted him over the last couple of months, you're like, oh, I'm flying. I'll call you when I land.
My signal's bad. I'll call you back.
So he's up there quite often.
But no, on a serious note, we would love to. We would love to take a trip with you.
He's not going to say no on live. I mean, podcast.
Well, that's why you do it on the live podcast.
He loves to put our guests on the spot.
That's why.
I'm surprised he's not putting you on the spot to buy real estate.
As long as you pay for the fuel, right?
Hey, listen, you don't scare me with a bad time or a good time. But no, on a serious note, we really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Christmas is right around the corner. We want to wish every single one of our WiseNuts friends and family, everybody who's been tuning in.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
That's how they say it in England. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know why they say Happy Christmas in UK.
Well, they also call a vacation what do they call it?
Holiday.
Yes, they call it a holiday.
I actually don't mind a holiday.
Yeah, Dean and Beck and everybody back Orabi, they go, wait, we're going on holiday. Going on holiday. But Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yes.
Enjoy your time with friends and family, all your loved ones.
Don't drink and drive.
Yes. Take an Uber, even though Uber is screwing up a lot of insurance cases and stuff.
Yeah,
take
sexual harassment's every 8 minutes, but that's fine.
Every 8 seconds.
8 minutes.
I know. For 8 seconds, every 8 minutes. But no. May this
like what the hell did I
walk into? This is what it is, Ed. This is what it is. Every Monday, this is what it is. This is.
And we kept it very professional.
Oh yeah. I mean, that last joke might get all of us in
Even
shit.
though Alan texted me, he's like, no, stop. I'm like, Alan John, come on, mascara ain't gonna.
He's probably texting again. Get the fuck out. No, guys, enjoy this holiday season with your friends and family, all your loved ones. Merry Christmas on behalf of all the WiseNuts. We'll see you guys next week because today's episode will be up and running on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all major platforms mañana. Our video episode of this will be airing on Wednesday on all other platforms as well. Other than that, have a great week, have a great weekend, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.